Should we start our reviews?
Yeah, we can start our review right now. अब तो हिंदी में बात कर ले, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Let's start with the first question. First is part one, question number one.
Okay.
So this is what is software engineering basics and how is it different from computer science. I have
Okay.
explained first software engineering from the industrial point of view and software engineer's point of view. You can
Okay.
see in the figure,
Okay.
and like this is a real scenario.
So what is software engineering?
I have explained it here.
Can you speak it?
Yeah, software engineering is the application of engineering to design, develop, and maintain the software in systematic method.
Okay.
So it is concerned with all aspects of software production.
Okay. Good.
So difference. Second part of this question was how is it different from computer science? I've
Okay.
explained differences uh, with two aspects like content difference and delivery and side.
Okay. So
Uh,
what is delivery side?
like when we are ready with our product to deliver,
Okay.
like we are ready with our Ruby project to deliver to our professor. So
Okay.
in
Then
that point,
okay, move on to the next part.
so do you feel any flaw in
No,
this?
no, I don't feel any problem in this question. So
Okay, fine.
you can move on to the.
So second question was like what is meant by software crisis and what are its symptoms and causes. And
Okay.
basically, I had to explain with the extra point of view.
Okay.
So before explaining it with the extra point of view, I have explained what is software crisis
Okay.
and what Dijkstra said about it
Okay.
here. Then these are the symptoms
Okay.
you can see,
Okay.
and causes are explained in the definition.
Okay. So
So
actually,
I
I need to give you. I need a rev. I will give. I will be giving you a review on this one.
uh-huh.
Actually, the first thing is you need to explain software crisis by giving an example.
Okay,
Like you could, give an example of Ariane 5 rocket or some Mars Explorer example, which is a very
okay,
popular one.
okay,
Secondly, you wrote the points for symptoms. Actually, these are the causes, and you directly copied from the Wikipedia, which I found it very easily. It's written like on the front page. So,
but like
Professor Murthy did a
this
thing.
is somebody saying,
So,
and
no, these are saying what I am saying is either rephrase the sentence or rephrase it so that you're directly copied. Right? Like
okay,
it's directly visible, what I'm trying to say.
okay.
And these
I've
are all causes, and these are all causes, not symptoms.
So, can you elaborate what are symptoms?
Symptoms is what happens. Let me give an example. Like if you have a fever, what are the symptoms? You have a headache, you have a high fever. Like if you're ill, so you have high fever. So if you in this context, like if the project software in terms of software crisis, what are the symptoms? The project might not work.
Mhm.
These are the symptoms. The causes are like the over budget, over time. These
Uh,
are the causes. So there's a difference between a cause and a symptom.
okay. So I'll
Okay.
rephrase these causes and I'll add some symptoms over here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I have noted your example for software crisis as well.
Okay. Good.
Then going to the next part, I had what, no, when, where, and how did the software engineering came into being, and who was largely responsible for this name.
Hmm.
This was the question in our one of the quizzes as well. Like
Hmm.
NATO conference was there.
Yeah.
So I think it didn't need any much explanation, so it's a very brief answer.
Yeah, but in this you need to add who invented, who was responsible for the name. So the name was some guy from the Germany, Edgar Dijkstra, in
Mm-hmm.
1972. You can easily find in the Wikipedia. So you can
Mm-hmm.
add his name over here. That's the only thing. Like, it is clearly written who was largely responsible for the name. So you can write his name.
Okay. So moving to next question. It was a seminar video.
Okay.
I had to find out various software crises and the innovations which were developed at that time.
Okay.
This is, I think, I spent a lot of time in this question, and here are detailed points. You can see
Okay.
these are the
Mm,
innovations, and above are the crises.
okay. Okay.
Is it okay with you?
Yeah, I've seen it. Uh, yeah, it's okay. You have written all the approximately covered most of the points.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Sorry.
So you can move on the next
Okay.
point.
So, so wait a minute. Mm, So next was the question like, does the software crisis still exist? And if it is, then what are the problems still faced by us? So the answer is yes, and it started in NATO conference as discussed in the previous question.
Mhm.
And the problem list included were the so these are like still faced challenges for us.
Actually, I have reviewed your answer for this question. What I felt in this is, can you scroll it down a little bit?
Hmm. Yes.
For this para, the software crisis continues. I think you need to rewrite this para and add few extra points over here. Can you scroll it down a little bit?
Hmm.
Actually, I'm not really convinced with this answer. The software crisis continues because, like, you need to explain it further. Like, give some points, add some points, and but you have written it's correct. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you have to rephrase it. Like, I'm not, getting like you have written the point, but I'm not able to get
Like
it.
these
Like,
are the points, and you need some explanation for these.
yeah, yeah. I think you got it. You have to add few extra points over here.
Okay, fine. So thank you, Pratik, about this first part question. So should I
Yeah.
move to part two?
Actually, I'm not doing the your part two.
Why? I mean, is it we are only doing part one here?
Actually, each you're not able to get it. Like I'll be reviewing only one question of yours, and some other person will be reviewing your one question. So it's like that.
So, and
For me,
the third question we don't have to review.
second,
The third question we don't have to
no, no,
review. Okay. So that's all about my first question.
okay,
I'll rephrase my answers as per you.
hmm,
So thank you, Pratik.
that's okay.
Would you like to explain yours?
Sure. Just hold on.
I have reviewed your second question, second part question, number
Okay,
9.
okay. Hold on. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so just hold on. Yeah. So this is my second part. Define in detail what is meant by the following plan and document testing method. So we have to explain the black box testing in
Mm-hmm.
context of plan and document.
Hello.
Hi
Hi,
Akshay.
Akshay.
Hi, Pratik, Harsha.
So Akshay, this is a live broadcast going on.
Okay.
Okay, so we are broadcasting right now. We are reviewing each other's answers, and you have to wait for your turn. So
Okay.
afterwards, your turn will come up. Okay.
Okay.
So right now, I am describing my answer to Raksha, and she will give the review for it. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, you can also give your own views if you want.
Okay. So, like, you are also viewing Prateek's question number 13, right?
I'm I have
Um,
reviewed his question number 9 for
no,
part.
no. Second
Okay.
part question 9. Second part question 9.
Okay. Second part question 8. So I
Yeah.
guess on the screen it's like question 9,
Yes, part 2 question 9.
but we have to view like question 8 of Prateek, right?
But Prateek is saying that from each part, only one question has to be reviewed by one person.
Okay. I have reviewed his part 1 question 13.
So not a problem. I have reviewed part 2 question number 9. So
Okay.
it's
Go ahead.
very,
Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, we can both review right now, right?
yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So the black box. So right now I'm describing what is black box testing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Akshay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. So black box testing, it is a software testing method in which the internal structure, design, and implementation of the item to be tested. Uh, the tester does not have the knowledge. So he is actually like testing the in just the implementation, how it works overall.
Okay. Yeah. Correct.
Okay. So like in terms like as you can see in this, I wrote it like in terms of
So
plan and document. After the developer has written the code, the tester without knowledge of the internal structure of the
yeah,
website or any
wait,
module.
Pratik.
Yeah,
So
Raksha.
what I reviewed is like you have started explaining from various point of methods. Can you show me your answer? Don't scroll screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, wait, wait. So weird. Yes, yes,
Can you see? Hello.
yes. Now I can see. What is the problem? I can't see your screen.
I can see your screen. Pratik, initially, I mean, in the first line, like it is a software testing method in which the internal structure implementations of the item being tested is not to the tester. I think this line is not properly written. I
Uh,
mean, it's not to
okay.
the tester. You might add is not visible or is not concerned to the tester, something
Pratik,
like
I
that.
can't see your screen.
Then like he can see my screen. How can you not see?
I don't know.
Okay,
Um,
so Akshay, you are
Yes,
saying
wait.
that I have to write, like I have to correct this thing.
because I mean, you also see like it's not to the tester. I guess it must be like it's is not concerned or something
Can
like
you
that.
scroll it to your question little above?
Okay,
I can't see your question. So question.
just hold on. Now can you see it?
So wait. What is written here? What is meant by the following plan and document testing methods?
Oh
First,
yeah.
go with the explanation of what is plan and document testing method.
Okay.
Then go in detail of these particular methods. I would
Okay,
like
just
to
hold on.
add here this
Okay, okay. Describe plan and testing. Plan
one.
and
Sure.
document testing. Okay.
Then go in the context of other methods.
Okay. So
So
Akshay, you were saying I should explain this more.
I mean, a little explanation of what I mean, I'm just like currently I just your first line like is not to the tester. Is something is not explanatory.
Okay.
Yeah, a little explanation would be good, I guess.
Okay, okay. Yeah. And then then what I'm describing is that the black box testing can be implemented in during integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. The
mhm.
purpose of that testing is to find incorrect function, interface errors, errors in data structure, behavior error, initialization error. Then the the technique employed by the manager after module of software at higher level of abstraction has been developed. So then we can use these techniques
Yes,
equivalence
so
partition.
can you explain all these techniques in one line here? I
Okay,
think
so
you can
so
add
in
explanation for one line.
explanation of explanation for all.
Just one line explanation.
Okay, fine. So after that, I explained what are the advantages and disadvantages. Testing is done from the user point of view,
Yeah, yeah,
and
no need to read this. It's okay.
okay. So afterwards,
Pratik, I just like to mention, I mean, if it's, I mean, I don't know, like, you have written advantages and disadvantages. I mean, it's not written in the question that you have
Yeah,
to
it's
give.
not
I
asked.
mean,
It
I
said,
think it would be a little extra on the part.
so should I remove this advantage and disadvantages?
I mean, because there's no, I mean, it can be extra, but like, the answer should not be, I mean, which they don't have like asked. You don't need to mention that, I guess.
Okay.
They are
So
just asked
should
maybe
like
you
for the
can,
song.
so what should I do? Should I remove this advantage and disadvantages?
or you can just make them little points instead of explaining too much.
Yeah, actually, they're little already.
Just make a table of advantages and disadvantages and just add the points.
I mean, you can add just a little. I mean,
Okay,
Yes.
should I like I can do like this like remove add one point to each advantage and disadvantages.
yeah. I mean,
Yes.
How's that sound?
it can be either one point or you can like compact in some manner. I mean, one liners could be
Okay.
like disadvantage is only one liners. I guess that is good. I guess.
Oh,
Like
okay.
so,
Compact the answer.
yeah. For the advantages and disadvantages.
And be to the point. Just
Okay.
to the point.
Okay. Secondly, right now I'm describing white box testing. So it is a testing technique in which the internal structure, design, and implementation of the item module being tested is known to the tester. Okay.
So
So
this,
white
I think the same explanation for this part as well.
uh,
Compact these advantages and disadvantages, and rest is, I think, okay.
oh, okay, fine. So the like for these I wrote this like these can be implemented in unit testing, integration, system testing. I wrote one point for each of them.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'll squeeze well, advantages and disadvantages for this thing was. And similarly, I wrote the gray box testing. I didn't get much good points for this
Uh-huh.
to write about it, so I wrote approximately 4 lines in this.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Akshay, do you have any?
Think I just want to add that like in the like go with the question like they are asking what in describe in detail what is meant by following plan and document testing methods. Okay, you have explained what is meant by this method. Okay, but then after that it's like sorry, and then explain in what context they would be used. So I mean like in gray box testing you can see a particular like context. They are asking for the context they can be used. So
See,
I guess that is a
Akshay,
little missing. Yeah.
I have to interrupt. Like, I have, like, you can see in this thing, in plan and document testing, the tester can choose the input against the code to verify the output. So I am writing
Yeah.
in terms of this in plan and document testing.
No, that is fine. That is fine. But look at the other part of the question. Explain in what context. You have to discuss the particular context in which they will be used. Like in grave of testing, you can see it's just like explanation of the method. Okay, but in what context they can be used? I mean,
In
context I guess is
plan and
missing.
document testing, right?
No, plan and document is okay. Like you have described what does testing means. I mean, what is
So I'm
the
not getting
testing?
what you're trying to say. Actually, I'm not able
Okay,
to
okay,
get it.
okay.
What you,
I'm trying to say like there are two parts of the question. Okay, first is like you have to explain that what is meant by these following testing methods. Okay, and you are like you have explained that fine. And the next part of the question is and explain in what context they would be used, right?
Uh,
In what
oh,
context they would be used. I mean, as a usage, you have to you can tell like as a usage where they can be used in some scenario or like anything. So that is kind of missing, I guess, the point.
so let me show you. A tester or a developer knows the implementation code of a certain field on a web page, determines the valid and invalid, and verifies the output against the expected output,
No, I'm
which
talking
is
about gray box. I'm talking about gray box.
okay. You're talking about gray box. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you're saying I should write an example or something to
I mean,
better
I
explain
mean,
it.
not as such an example, but the context. I mean, little bit extra is needed in the. I mean, following just like gray box mutation.
Describe this thing. Like, should I explain more for this gray box testing?
So, wait a minute, Pratik. What I think Akshay is trying to say, you are focusing on the definition and advantage, disadvantage of particular method. Instead of that, you should include plan and document focus over here. How that is related to this particular method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Role of this method in context of planning and documentation.
Okay, I don't know how it is related to plan and document testing.
Yes, usage.
Okay, and similarly, I describe mutation testing.
Mm-hmm. Mm, okay. See here also, you didn't mention anything about planning and documentation.
Hmm. Okay,
I mean,
You are focusing
you
on
can
the
skip these
definition.
points about types of mutation, advantage, disadvantage, but planning and documentation parts needs to be there.
okay.
I mean, context means like in any some like in any scenario, this testing can be used. This testing can be used like this. I mean, like in an suppose in an like in a project in a some project, black box testing is used. But how it can be used? Like a tester can do the testing, but does not have to know the internal structure, and the result will be passed, and that would be enough. I mean, something like this, a scenario and in context.
Okay, okay. So for gray box testing, mutation testing, you are talking about this.
I mean,
Like a
pretty much.
little bit rephrasing of the answers is needed. You just explain the method first, then explain a scenario which includes your planning and testing using that method, and give by giving any example.
Okay,
That would be enough, I think.
fine.
Yeah.
Uh, the last one is first testing. Oh, second last, first testing.
I
See
mean,
again.
in all you need this. I mean, you can take it
Yes.
for all. I mean,
Okay.
you can actually
Yeah.
instead of writing in all the points, just write in the bottom like for all. Just a little more elaboration and context on it. That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
And little bit of I guess formatting or little bit of grammar is a little bit. Just see to that. I guess that's just fine.
Okay. Fine. Mm, so the the first part.
Okay.
So I have to explain. I have to explain framework and its benefits.
Okay. Firstly, Pratik, I guess in this your B and F part are missing.
Say again.
B and F parts are missing.
Which one?
Okay, I'll tell you. How does a framework differ from a toolkit? I can't
I
find this anywhere. I mean, like after A, you can see your B part. I guess that's B part is missing.
just hold on. I'm not sure. Okay. Maybe I just hold on. Yeah, I think I didn't write this.
Yeah, and also with the like, sorry, with the H part is also missing in this.
No, I actually I wrote this one. Just hold on.
Yeah,
See, describe in detail three
oh,
environment
because
different.
okay, it's like B part is missing, so your H became G. Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so B part is missing firstly.
So should I start explaining?
Good find, Akshay. He might lose his points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, you need to add B point. Okay,
So
and coming to your answers, um, firstly, define framework. Oh, okay. Bullets and numbering. Okay, okay. Firstly, in like you have done in Word, but in your Google Docs, where I can view your answer, your bullets were not properly. I mean, they were with the different
yeah,
symbols.
actually the problem was, when I copied that context from my doc file to Google Doc, so
Yeah,
the formatting changed.
yeah. So that's what
So
I'm
the main,
asking. Yeah, yeah. So that
yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
need to
saying. Like,
reformat the Google Doc. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know that.
Because finally, like the answer will be checked there, right? So
Yeah,
Yes, this
I'll
happens
do
with
that.
everybody, I think.
yeah. And second thing is, okay, define framework. Okay, the first part I can okay is kind of fine, but for the rest of the part, I will say you need to elaborate more your answers. They are very short. I will say. I
Okay,
mean, like the part is just like it's kind of one-liner. So I will personally say that you just need to elaborate more your answers.
okay, okay. But like, who created Ruby on Rails and like
I
for
think
these,
this
I don't think like I need to explain much.
no,
Like,
this one is okay. I mean, D part is okay, but look at the C part, the relationship. I mean, you can
Relationship.
give something about the relationship, right?
okay,
Who creates, that's a fact. The facts are okay. You cannot elaborate the facts. That's okay. But
okay,
the relationship, the explanation, I guess it's
okay.
like
For
needed there.
you are talking about B and C, right?
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Like in
Uh,
case of relationship, you can make a table of similarities between both of them.
okay, fine. Now on the E, explain in
But
detail.
I mean, little grammar or like little indentation, you need to be okay. Like you need to see the commas and all that structure. I mean, in Google Docs, you can find pretty easily. You can correct it pretty easily. So it will be
Actually,
like
the main reason is in Google Docs it's not showing is because I told you earlier like the problem of copying from one doc to Google Docs. So
no, no. That's
it's reformatting.
no. I'm not saying that like that's a mistake. I'm just saying because it will be like viewed in the Google Docs, and that will be your for your benefit. It will like if it's proper showing, then you will get your points good, right? So I guess you can do a little bit of work there. That's it.
Okay, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. It's not a mistake, just an observation, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, explain in detail what three tier shared nothing is and how it is implemented in Rails. So shared nothing architecture is a distributed computing architecture in which each entity is independent. There is no disagreement between the nodes of or the nodes in the architecture. Like they all are synchronous and there is no disagreement between them. It is called three-tier because of the three layers that are present in the architecture: presentation, logical tier, and persistence tier. And actually made the
Okay,
diagram
okay,
for it.
okay. Hold on. Just a little grammar. I mean that would be because professor said us like the grammar should be okay. The points of the grammar also, right? So that's why I'm just pinpointing in this line like above the diagram these type I mean this you need to do these types and below that because it's prevents so it prevents you should I mean
Where-
you should check your little grammar so because
Okay,
that, that would be benefit because you will not lose your point
okay,
at least on not on grammar.
okay,
And I think Pratik, you should add little bit explanation of this this diagram.
okay, fine.
Pratik, can you go a little below?
The next question starts.
Okay, no, next question. I just want to pinpoint like, okay, go on the like question again. Yeah, E part. So it's like explain in detail. Like your explanation is quite good, but I would
Mhm.
like to add like how it is implemented in Rails.
Okay.
That part is I guess missing. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
the
Fine.
scope is missing of how it is implemented in Rails.
Fine. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Then the F part is explain in detail what MVC is and how it is implemented. So I explained
Yeah, I can see the explanation is good. Explanations are good.
model view, controller. I wrote 1 point each, and how MVC divides the work of an application in Ruby. Like
Yeah,
these are active model is active record, view is sorry, model is active record, view is action view, and controller is action controller in Ruby
yeah,
on
yeah,
Rails. Like we
yeah.
make the MVC like that only, right?
The explanation is good here. I mean,
So
But
like
Pratik,
I made a diagram for this also.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you.
yeah,
I
Raksha.
think you can add a prototype of these MVCs, both of all three parts here, like taking from our
Prototype package.
own project, Quick Rent. We can add our model
But
for houses, just prototype, like class houses in ending like that. Controller this and action having
but
so.
I think
yeah.
but I
Actually,
think
Pratik, what Raksha is saying, actually, what Raksha is saying, that can be elaborative answer of the second part, that how it is implemented in Rails, right?
Yes,
So that
yeah, I told
that
you,
can be
like I wrote about it how it is implemented in Rails.
no
Like I
then
made model is corresponded to active records. View is similar to action view in the Rails.
yes, Pratik, I'm not saying that you have not written it. Like reading it and just focusing on the diagram and your figure will elaborate your answer automatically. You will get your point directly. Nobody will have to go in details.
I mean you can just like if you can just add it as an example, a little example. So
Okay, fine.
that is a good that would be
Like
good
you
answer.
must
Okay,
have
okay.
seen in our book, Work Kindle, we have given MVC examples like that only. You can add here
Okay, all right.
and take our own example of quick rent.
Mm.
Don't take movies example.
Okay, fine. So the last part is describe in detail the three environment defined in Rails.
I guess it's a pretty short answer for describe in detail. I'll say.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't find much about it.
Yeah, I mean you need to
That
add this. You can add, I mean, just you can write the review points here. I will just say in a nutshell, for this, I guess you need a little grammatic corrections and just little elaboration in some answers.
okay,
Yeah.
fine.
And like B part, obviously, B part you have to do.
You just need to rephrase your answers and adding some explanation and the points we have already
Because
told.
explanations are quite good. Explanations is like quite explanatory. Just a little implementation thing.
Okay. So this is the end of our answers.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Pratik, you are going to review somebody's answers now.
He reviewed my answer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just sharing my screen right now.
Like we can both review Dakshay's answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Mm, okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Just I'm finding my answers. One second. My first is part one, question seven. Okay, so Pratik, you can shoot. Hello,
Yes,
hello.
Akshay.
Hi Akshay.
Yeah, Pratik and Raksha, you
Can
can.
you
Yes, yes, we can hear
can
you.
you can you zoom in on the screen?
Okay, just a second. Now it's okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so firstly for the part 1, question number 7. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So like I just have to I needed to explain the different type of architectures. Okay. So the first part is
Mm-hmm.
define each in detail and supply illustration for clarification. Okay. So here goes my first answer. Like I have taken each architecture one by one. So first is pipes and filters. So I have defined them. Uh, so Pratik, I mean, you have reviewed. You can give me
Yeah,
some.
actually, what I felt in this answer is you wrote all the whole answer in in a paragraph. I think you should
Yeah.
write this in the points, bullet point or something kind of this. You need to reformat it first of all.
Reformat in what sense? Uh,
Like you explained pipes and filter like in a whole paragraph, which is a very
yeah.
tedious task to do. So I think you should reformat this answer or
No,
rewrite it.
it's like define each in detail. So I mean,
No,
the
no,
point
it's
structure will
fine.
be
You wrote in detail. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like you wrote in a paragraph. It's a very tedious task. Like it's very some kind of something boring. I'm not able to,
no.
Akshay,
So
can you scroll your screen?
yeah.
As
So
far
you are
as
saying
I can see, it's okay. I think it's not that detailed.
because the point structure will not be. I mean, because like the definition is first here. Then I have applied the working. I mean, the different
Mm-hmm.
parts are like this.
the
I think,
working. I'm talking about the working. So you could put a bullet point or something like that.
but
Uh,
Pratik, working is, I think it should go in a paragraph only.
I mean, the explanations can be like the bullet points are for. I mean, according to me, I mean, I will consider this point, but I guess the explanations should be like define each in detail. So that goes in paragraph, I guess. Okay, I will consider this point about the
Okay.
reformatting.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so this is the working. Firstly, I have defined what pipes and filters are, and then I've defined its working. So it's like illustration. The working in this working is the illustration. The working is I have not added from my thing. Firstly, I've defined, and for the illustration part, I have defined this working. So any comments on this?
Pratik,
Yeah.
any comments?
Hmm. I don't think. Yeah, it's all right. The answer he wrote is okay.
Raksha, yours?
I think it's okay. I don't know about your question. I'm just looking at verifying.
No, take your time. You can read the question. I mean, it's just like
Yeah, I'm
this
going through it right
this
now.
one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Defining detail supply illustrations like. Mm. So where are the like advantages and disadvantages?
No, that is the D. I mean
That
C
is
part.
the
Firstly,
okay.
like A part. It's like the A part.
So this was only A part.
Yeah, like I have written like this.
Okay. Okay.
This is like A part, first point. Here.
Yeah. So as far as A point is concerned, I think it's fine.
Okay. Same goes with the client server. I've explained this, the client server
Mm-hmm.
model, and again the working for illustrations and how it works, how it goes.
So,
So
so
Akshay,
what?
like I was saying, can you scroll it upwards?
Upwards, yeah.
So as you can see, like you have explained client server architecture in a paragraph. So like
Yes.
it's a very big paragraph.
Uh,
So I
say
think
again?
for this one, I think you should definitely put some bullet point. You should explain bullet point.
Yes. I think Pratik is right here.
Okay.
For this part, you need to compact this client side work explanation, and you can elaborate your working more if you want.
Okay, sure. Maybe I can make a two paragraph answer. I mean,
No,
Yeah, you
no,
could do that. I would say that, but
I
it's very
think
big paragraph.
points would be more effective.
okay, sure, sure. So again, the same way, the peer-to-peer architecture.
Secondly, Akshay,
Yeah,
I think you should, put some diagram or, some image to describe the client server architecture.
okay, okay.
You have the content, but I think the diagram would, add a good image to the answer.
Yeah, perfect. I guess yeah, you're right. I should do that.
And similarly to every architecture, if you could find for peer-to-peer architecture and other architectures,
Yeah, I
that
guess
would
you're
be
saying for
great.
the illustration part, I need to do some diagram thing, I guess. So I guess I
The
will write this.
the only thing the only thing you need to work on like for all the architectures is that for all the architectures, I'm talking about all the architecture, is
Okay,
firstly you need to reformat it in terms of like breaking down the paragraph into points.
okay.
Secondly, if you can find an image diagram to show the working of the architecture, that would be
Hmm.
fine.
Okay. So
These
I think it goes
for
to the
the whole answer for the architecture,
yeah.
you should put the so you should do these two things.
Okay, I guess the most important thing is I guess I should put some diagram for illustration. I guess for all of the architectures, right?
Say again?
The most important thing I should put the diagram for illustration for all of the architectures, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So okay, I will write this for all the architectures, and I guess.
yes.
good.
Yeah. So it's like working again goes and for the again. I mean the context is right. I guess I just need to reform and some diagram, right?
Yeah, that would suffice.
So this is my explanation for the peer-to-peer. Again, the working is there for the peer-to-peer. So you can read like if you want me to go downwards, you can tell me.
Yeah, you could go downward, scroll down.
This one was the layered architecture, fourth part. I mean, the fourth part of the A part actually. So again, working goes for this. Okay, I'll come directly to the B part now. Is goes to the advantage and firstly the advantages and the context of each of the architectures.
Okay.
Actually, just can you just highlight your question? Advantages and context.
Okay, this is the B part.
Yes.
This is the context part, and this is the advantages part.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. These are all the architectures. The firstly the advantages of them, and in the context where they can be used. Like in the question they would be appropriate. So in these contexts they would be appropriate. Appropriate.
Mhm. You can make these two different points very reliable and fault tolerant.
Mm,
No, no, I'm just asking peer to peer. You have 2 points: scale up to well and very
okay.
reliable, fault tolerant. Fault
Okay.
tolerant can be our next point.
Okay. So you're trying to possibly this,
Yes.
right? Okay. So I mean the B part is done.
I think it's fine. Pratik, what do you say?
Mm, I think it's fine. I think
What?
he covered. I think he covered most of the points.
Yes.
Okay. So I will go with the
It's all right.
disadvantages. Okay. The next
Yes.
part is like disadvantages and where they will be inappropriate
Okay.
Uh-huh.
in the context. So like this again, these are the disadvantages. Sorry, these are disadvantages, and this is the context where it will be inappropriate now. Different architectures.
See, can you like you wrote the answer for disadvantages pipes and filter tends to encourage bad processing. So how it's like how is disadvantages to the you know batch processing in terms of batch processing?
Okay, so I should explain a little bit more here, right?
Yeah, well, like how it's disadvantages batch processing
Okay.
because it's encouraging batch processing. So like why is batch processing not good?
Yeah, yeah, right. You're right.
But I think here is like context. In his context, he has explained when a lot of like processes are there, working needs to be smooth. So
Yeah,
that point explanation
yeah.
could be tend to encourage batch
No, but
processing.
how it's like
No,
I don't remember like so other team might be reviewing our answer, so he doesn't know
yeah,
what is batch processing. We know what is batch processing, but he
yeah, yeah.
doesn't know. So
Believe
like
me.
you
Okay, okay,
tell
yeah.
like
I'll call your mind.
What I'm
okay
saying is,
like second point it is written like can reduce performance of
yes. What I'm saying is, like context could be associated with every single point.
Yeah, right. Uh, okay. I'll do a little more explanation here. No problem. Mm. So this goes against the client server. This is the context. This is the peer-to-peer disadvantages, and then the context where it will be like these are the contexts where they will be inappropriate. The layered and the context. Mm. Anything on these? Pratik Raksha, Madhya,
I think it's fine.
Pratik.
Pratik, you there?
yeah
Pratik, are you playing?
yeah I'm here.
Okay. So I guess
No, I'm not playing.
the disadvantage and the context. So anything you need to I want to add in this?
I think it's fine. Like context is okay, but same
No,
same explanation. It
yeah,
could be
it's fine.
associated with every single point.
Okay, sure.
Otherwise, it's okay.
Okay, I'll go with the D part then. It's like I have to give the two examples for each. Actually the two real world examples.
Yeah.
So okay, with the for the pipes and filters, I have given the first example as a command of the Unix. This is a command,
Yes.
and the explanation is like I have written cat. I've taken the example of the cat
Yes.
command.
Yes.
Okay,
I can see.
and for the like next, it's a little bit explanatory and a little bit like so because I have to give the real world example. That's why a little bit elaborated is there. Basically, the enterprise integration scenarios. So
I think this is more than sufficient.
mm,
Okay, you can scroll up.
yeah. So I mean, for the pipes and filters of the second example, I didn't explain more, so I stated a diagram with it. So
Mhm.
the client and server, I have taken the
Akshay,
first.
you
Yeah,
need to, Akshay,
yeah.
Akshay.
Actually, you can add your
Like,
this.
again you wrote the whole answer in a paragraph.
And this
Please
can go
don't
in.
do that.
Pratik,
It's
here
No.
it
not
is
good.
example. I think paragraph is okay.
Actually, but the thing is, I can't write everything in points. Like for the some explanation, I
See, I'm
need
not
to do.
convinced with like
The problem is like if I need to explain something, I can reduce a bit. I can cover in some points, but I can't write the whole thing in the points, right?
Actually, you can add this figure in your explanation of pipe and filters, I think.
Yeah, actually, I mean, this here can be compact and that can be added upward, right?
No, in part A, you needed some diagrams for explanation, so I think this can be added.
Yeah, actually, good observation. Okay, but we just seen the points thing.
So this one is the next question, or you have added is this as an example. How can we perform complex processing in a message? Maintaining independence.
The thing is, like if you go with the example, it is continuing the example.
Okay.
The enterprise integration scenario. After that, it's taking the like how can we perform complex processing on a message. It's basically the example of a
I
message.
think two examples are already enough, so you need not explain that much for this. You can compact this if you want. This
Yeah,
is some extra information you are adding here.
yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll move the client and server. The
Yes.
first example is like like we all use the online banking services.
Yes.
First example I have given that example that like I have to give the real world example. So the real world would be like we use online bankings and that the
Yes.
client server is used, right? So that is my first example.
Mm-hmm.
And next example is my like remote server. Like in our university we use the remote servers, right? So like mobile stream the software, like it's a client server thing. It gives us a service of connecting to the remote servers, right? So that is my second example.
So you can add your like SSH link over here. Like this is a connection for SSH we create with remote
Yeah.
servers.
I
Okay.
don't I don't think like he should add SHI for
I'm
this
not
thing
saying
because
about
he's
the
writing MOBA term
he can
because he's explaining giving MOBA term and explaining like he's it is connecting to remote server. So I don't think he should write about
I
SSH
think
or
Raksha,
any.
I think Raksha is saying that the as such the service like mobile she provides a service as such. I can
mobile
give an
Okay,
exam
example.
is
yeah,
a
yeah.
particular example and
Okay, okay, okay.
SSH
I thought about explaining SSH.
no no
Okay, sure.
But yeah, you can write about SSH but not explain about.
yes.
Okay, that's a sign. This I guess you're telling like this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I will go the peer and peer. Firstly, I have given the example of the instant messaging, and second is like file sharing. Like we all do like Napster. We have heard about Napster. These tools. So these tools all use like peer-to-peer services. So that's why I give an example of this in the peer-to-peer.
Okay.
Okay. And for the layered architecture, first like the first example is a proper like of a restaurant where like customer, waiter, and chef are the three layers where where they interact with each other. Not like the chef does not interact with the customer directly. The chef will interact with the waiter, and the customer will interact with the waiter. So they are the layers basically. So that's
Yes.
why it can be a layered. architecture example, the real life example.
Okay.
I've I defined different roles for the waiter, like it takes the order, forwards to chef.
Yes. I think
Um,
it's a good real life example.
That's
uh,
good.
and for the second example, I have used the networking layers. Like we all have studied about the seven layers which are used in in the real world in the most of the companies, the services provided by the companies. The seven layers of the networks.
So if you like, you can add the TCP/IP. That's TCP/IP, right? Yeah, 7 layers you can mention over here if you want. That's not
Okay.
necessary.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Oh, either do one thing, don't mention the 7 layers, just make a diagram of the
Yeah,
whole,
just
architecture.
Yeah.
if
That
you
will be fine.
Okay. So these are my various references for this. Okay. I'll go on the second part. Mine was
Pratik, have you reviewed his second question as well?
Second,
Part two question.
part two of what?
Have you reviewed his part two question as well?
Two, like my second part question.
no no
Akshay,
my second part, mine. Part second, question number
I
11.
don't think I don't think I am reviewing your second part question.
Oh, I think that would be Rasika. Okay, fine.
so Pratik, can you go to my question back? I just forgot to add my comments over there.
Okay, just hold on. Yeah. For the for the
Like
first
first.
part question,
Just a minute, I'll be there. Meanwhile, Akshay, if you feel anything, you can also point out.
Yeah.
So,
Yours is part one,
so
question
in
one,
the
right?
first,
yeah,
Okay.
I don't feel like there's any problem in this answer.
part A, you
Uh,
don't feel anything, okay.
yeah, I don't think you can ask Akshay.
So, Akshay, this is like what is software engineering and
Okay.
how is it different from computer science?
Okay. Fine. Software engineering, yeah, is like explanation is good with the diagram. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Then this is the real scenario.
Okay.
So these are the differences from 2 point aspects, content difference and delivery side.
Yeah. Perfect. Sorry.
So I think you pointed out something in this part, Pratik.
Yes, in the second part, you need to explain software crisis by giving a simple example.
Okay,
You could quote it from the book also. You have any examples, popular examples?
okay,
Secondly, in this you wrote the point for the causes in symptoms.
okay, yes.
Um, Raksha, can you move a little upwards?
Yeah,
The
just a
books.
minute. The
And
question is like what is software crisis and what were the symptoms when it came in
But
existence?
okay, but here you just make sure that you have like what you will like software crisis you will refer to. That would be the like prior to software engineering, right? That I
Yes.
mean it's I guess
So this is
example.
the explanation prior to software engineering in the term used in early days of computing science.
Yeah. So
This
I
is
guess
what I have explained.
if you're saying with the example, I don't think you need the example here.
Uh,
I mean,
you
is
need
it?
I need to add some example.
Okay, you can
that's what I
add.
said earlier.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can add something. Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, what kind of example you want me to add?
Uh,
Software
a
crisis.
area like there was a Ariane 5 rocket which crashed due to
Okay,
software problem, or Mars orbiter which or which also crash due to software error or over budget or something like that. You could code those points.
So this is from Dijkstra point of view. It's mentioned in the question like explain, but Dijkstra had something about this.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are the symptoms which I found, but Pratik has said that these are the causes,
And you
and I
directly
need to
copied
rephrase
from the
them.
Wikipedia. So
Yeah, I need to rephrase them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Secondly,
So next question
in the next
is
question, just you need to just add the name of the person who coined the word software engineering or
Dijkstra.
software.
You,
Yeah, some German guy. It's good, Dijkstra.
That is about the reason of so many things.
yes. So when is included, where is included, uh,
And
and who needs to be
who is
there?
not
Okay.
possible.
So this is the next question.
I guess that was a pretty much long video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've covered in the points. I guess that's fine.
That's
Yeah,
what I understood from that video.
yeah, that's good.
So last question is if the software crisis is still existing, if so, we need to
Uh,
exercise the
I
problem.
think you need to rephrase the whole answer. Like I'm not satisfied with this answer. Like I'm not convinced this answer. Like there's many gaps and you need to add few points.
Okay.
Please look at this answer. Like I'm not really satisfied with the answer. Like what it's asking and what you have written. You have written all the points, but it's in a haphazard way. Like you have
Okay.
asked,
Okay.
Okay,
you
one thing. Yeah,
explained
yeah,
the
sure.
software crisis again, which is not necessary over here.
Yeah, yeah, actually, like it is asked, does the software guys still exist? So I don't think you need to do explanation again. You can just tell them it exists or not, and if yeah, then this was a problem exist. I mean, I don't think you need to explain it again. That would be
Okay.
unnecessary addition, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, like you have written the software guys continues because okay, you can write above yes, it still exists, and why it exists, you
Yeah,
can
I have
elaborate this.
written here by list of problem.
Yeah, so that would be yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess Pratik is right. You just rephrase it. These points are okay.
Secondly, in the software crisis continues, the line where it starts. You need to add few points, some extra points over here.
You wanted me to make these as points and a little bit explanation.
No. Some extra points or some extra lines.
But
Like the
I think
content is less for this.
Okay.
but I think when you will rephrase your answer, your content will be automatically increased because the above points will be covered in this. It is continuing because some of the points will come in this. So a little bit will be added in this automatically. Yes.
Okay.
I need to add some points.
Firstly,
Yes.
like rephrase your answer and
Rephrase it.
yeah, and then you can add some points if you are finding it a little less.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it all about my part one question.
Okay.
Do we need to discuss our part three as well?
No.
Or
I
I
we
don't
don't
think
think
so.
that is just
It's
survey
a
time.
it's a survey question. Survey
Yeah.
yes.
question.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I guess that's it.
I think we can wind up our
Okay.
video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Akshay Pratik.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Raksha. Thank you, Pratik. And
We should
Pratik,
stop the podcast.
Raksha,
Yes.
send this link, okay?
Yeah, sure, sure.
I mean, individually to
Yes.
Pratik and me, okay?